Welcome to Unlock Women, brought to you by African Bank. And this is our money series. We're doing this with Ukanya Sosibo.
And of course, Udorik Wagastole.
And we're talking money. Good to have you back, my lady.
Good to have you back. Oh, spring has definitely sprung in studio.
Sprung, my lady.
Okay.
You can see the colors.
And I swear to you, I don't think the viewers will believe us, but we never coordinate the wardrobe. And every single time, There's just alignment. Works out.
There's alignment. And would like to welcome our special guest. And we are talking to Bantse Maleka, who is also representing African Bank for this episode. She is the head of Business Transformation and Program Management Office for the Consumer Banking Division. And it's good to have you.
Thank you.
Platform,
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Thank you.
Absolutely. You know what I said when when she got off the makeup chair and she came for her pictures? I was just like, there's something that they used to say as a child growing up in Lukshin, but he's standing. I was like, he's standing. Because we don't, that's the thing about women. They're beautiful, but they're standing and they're smart.
Yes.
Wow,
and we're not afraid to give compliments.
Of course,
I can
never
see.
that.
We dish them out.
I'll take it. Bring it
in. But it's such a pleasure to have you on Unlock Women.
Thank you.
And we're always in awe of the leaders that come to join us to share their wisdom. But most importantly, for us, this is us getting to know you better. It's like we're having coffee somewhere and we get to understand who you are outside of the title, outside of what you're doing in the workspace, but we want to know who you are. So maybe just to kick off our conversation, tell us a bit more about yourself. Who's Bantse Maleka?
Thank you for having me today. Oh, wow. Bantse, I'm born and bred in Joburg. I come from a family of strong women. My parents are still alive, and my grandmother's actually 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
So that's she's a stalwart in our family.
Oh, what a blessing.
And I'm number 3 of 4 girls. So the girls are strong, independent women. And I think our dad raised us to be like that. I think, just living through, I think, apartheid and transitioning into the new South Africa, we've transitioned and just become real strong women, which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, I can't get over your grandmother being 100. My grandfather's 92. We are hoping for 100. He's just like, I think, if it comes, it comes. But, that is such a blessing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that you come from a household with strong women. And so the question often is that, what are some of the things that you grew up with, as values? What were you taught that can make you sit right now as the woman that you are to say, wow, if it wasn't for my dad teaching me 1, 2, 3, I don't think I would be the woman I am today.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll even start with my dad. Yes. He was very involved in our lives, right? And, he was that dad that took us to school and dropped us off at different occasions. But you really just had to be there all the time, show up and do best.
Yeah.
Whether it was getting to school on time, time was quite an important, time management was an important value for us. And then I think also it's around discipline. If you start something, you finish it. That's a big thing, He'd always ask you, why are you not completing this?
Yeah.
And then I think it's around the next, it was always about the next goal. Really around like, okay, you've done well. What next?
Yeah.
So, I think it's that kind of determination and also commitment to anything you kind of begin and start with.
Yeah.
My mom, on the other hand, I think she's a working woman. She's a doctor. And as much as my dad did the drop-offs, my mom was in the background controlling the situation.
Management.
Yes. Actually, there's my sister likes to say, my mom's the boss of everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my mom was definitely the boss of everything. And you just kind of knew that you had to shape up and get things done. And, you know, whether it was getting your school stuff ready, she wanted everything in order, and making
German
sure that
precision.
you deliver.
She sounds like German precision.
Definitely. I definitely.
I think most of our mothers were literally like that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll say a woman is like the Minister of Home Affairs.
Yes.
And they manage things in the home. They manage the money. But you when you look at your father, you think, Ubaba uyoleti mali. And because when we were growing up, it always go, oh, daddy's going to give me this.
No,
then my mother would be saying, if you knew.
If only you knew.
If only you knew.
Definitely.
Right? Which
definitely.
is just the beauty of our upbringing. And we take some of those things into our adulthood. And I'm so happy that you're able to share your stories with us today. So fast forward to the woman that you are today. Did you think you'd be doing what you're doing right now? Tell us about your journey in terms of how did you move, in terms of what you studied into your career. Would you say you knew you'd be where you are today?
I certainly didn't think of myself as a banker or working in a bank.
Really?
My background is I studied information systems.
Okay.
And, you know, just like any young person, you kind of get into kind of your degree by mistake. But I certainly enjoyed it. And I have a consulting background.
Okay.
And I think consulting is also one of those careers that teaches you kind of work ethic, how to show up in corporate. And it certainly is a big part of how I got here. But fast forward, African Bank just fell on me, and it's just been a beautiful journey. And it's nice to know that you're building a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally building a bank.
Building a bank.
Yes.
Literally building a bank. So today we wanted to touch on a very important topic, which is purpose. I think if you go on social media, you'll see a lot of messages on purpose. Everybody's saying this, everybody's saying that. And we were just laughing with Kanya to say, for us, purpose is the stuff that you do that doesn't feel like work.
Definitely.
Yeah. You wake up every morning and you look forward to doing what you're doing because it's part of your life. It's part of who you are. It's part of your identity. It's part of your DNA. And just from your point of view, and doesn't have to be a dictionary definition. According to Bantse, when we talk about purpose, and if you're looking at your life and how you got to where you are now, how would you define purpose?
So purpose for me is really about staying true to myself. And really just knowing that I wake up in the morning and it's me and what I represent myself. And myself obviously is bigger than just who you see here. And I kind of alluded to that with my family. Yes. But I really do think that purpose is staying true to yourself and being comfortable in your being. How I got to, I think, find my purpose is really, I found my purpose through running.
Oh, tell us a bit more.
Yes,
about
that.
That's the juice we want to hear.
And I actually became a runner by mistake. I think it was after a tough period in my life. And, you know, when you have a little bit more time on your hands, you get onto the road and you just start with a 5K. And what started off as a 5K ended up being a 21K. A 10K, then a 21K, then a marathon. And before I know it, I have 4 comrades under my belt.
Well done.
I think she's got enough for all of us.
Well, no,
one for
does.
me, one for you, and
even
2 for her.
Even the glow on the face, on the skin. Ladies, start running and do the marathon. Here's the proof of what happens.
Oh, wow.
So we do see you also hitting that 100-year mark, just like your grandmother.
Definitely.
Yes.
Clearly, it shows. It shows. But also that for me is just the alignment of all the other things outside of the work that make you happy. And I think that's always the greatest struggle for a lot of people. It's, what do you mean I must find my purpose? What does that look like? So for you to get to a place where you can say, I found my purpose, you can articulate what that looks like how you're doing it now. How did that happen for you? When can you really say, you know what, that year, so when you were running, would you say that was the moment where you felt like
was it the 5K?
Was it the 5K or the
21 or 42 or the comrades?
So it's interesting because I think I hit that year, I hit my milestones in a year. So, and I think it was that year that I felt like I found my purpose. And really the feeling is of being doubtful. And initially you're like, ooh, I'm not good at this. It's hard. It's difficult. But then as you continue, it becomes easier. So you start with that 5K and you're like, there are people that are better than you, people who run faster than you. And slowly you see yourself also getting better. And then you hit the mark and you hit that 5K mark. And then you're like, okay, I can get to 10. And you get to that 10K mark and it's easier. It's not as hard as it felt on the first day. And that's just like slowly how it progressed. And then eventually, within the year, I did the 21K and then I did my first marathon. Funny enough, it's the Soweto Marathon.
Oh, wow.
So the stars are aligning now. It was my first marathon and you you finish the marathon, everyone's just like, that's a qualifier for comrades. And you're like, what? Like qualifying for what?
What are you saying?
I was just running, right?
This was just for fun.
No, true.
Yeah.
And then you just train a little bit more, do a little bit more distance. And, you don't have to run 42 Ks consistently.
Yeah.
You just do just a little bit more every day. And before you know it, I did my first ultra marathon, which was at Omdidam. And 3 months later, I was at the starting line in Pietermaritzburg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, because you've done 4. So you've done both the down and the up.
Yes.
How was the up?
They both hard. They're not any easier.
That Hillcrest area?
No, it's actually all a blur. It's such an intense race. At some point, you don't even know where you are.
Wow.
But, you get to the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just don't forget your name. Right? They're like pulling you out. Like
and just
you
keep
won the
moving
medal.
forward. Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Because I was just
yeah.
listening to how you're describing it. Obviously, there's life lessons you get. I feel like there's so much depth in everything that we do in our lives. So when you look at the marathons that you've done, the ups and the downs, how would you say that has given you a picture of how we deal with things in our lives, and how is that like a case study for you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a case study every morning. And really how I feel about it is that you've got to put in the work. So you won't get to the finish line without putting your training. So it starts with your training. And the training is discipline in the morning, waking up at 5 a.m. when you don't want to. Sometimes it's dark. And really in life, sometimes you've got to do things that are not comfortable, but you think of the bigger goal. And I think that's one of the first life lessons you get from just waking up every morning and enjoying what I do and run. And then over time, you realize that they're big milestones and you reach those milestones and the goal gets bigger and better. And I think that's also part of your purpose. You get better with time. And so that's definitely something that's come through in terms of nuggets through the running. And then I think when you eventually finish your first comrades, you feel like you can do anything. It's a brutal race, but as you reflect on the race, you realize, I had fun at this point. I remember that hill. I remember going up. I remember it being easy going down. And then the finish line and getting that medal. And funny enough, is the Comrades medal is the smallest medal.
Right.
But it's definitely has the biggest achievement of life. Yeah.
You've said so much, and I'm just hearing metaphors for life. I mean, starting off with the one that you just mentioned now, that the Comrades Marathon is the ultimate human race, right? It's grueling, as you say. People lose their toes, people give up. As you say, you enjoy it. It's fun. There's a group. You're alone. You struggle. You go past the struggle, and you see the finish line. And to me, that's saying that in life, it really is the things that are the most valuable sometimes can be the smallest things, that affirm that you've actually gone past certain struggles. So now that you've gone through the process of self-discovery, self-reflection, and you've found at least an idea on the journey of establishing what your purpose is or getting comfortable within your purpose. Then we get to the point of clarity, right? And that clarity hopefully leads you to a point of impact. Because now once you're comfortable and you're like, this is me, this is what I'm about, I've understood it for self, I've internalized it, how can I then use it to shine the light for the next person?
Definitely.
So do you think that you're at that point yet? Are you the point of clarity just yet? Are you at the point where you are ready for impact, or you feel like you still need to do some work and then you can start the impact?
It's interesting as you ask that question. I think it resonates with working here at African Bank.
Yeah.
Every day you wake up for work, you realize it's part of the bigger picture and the goal that you're trying to achieve, to serve the people and build a Black bank. And that's very in line with my purpose and making an impact.
Yeah.
And so I really feel that I probably do have more clarity. There's always an opportunity to be more impactful.
Yeah.
So I think, I can do it through my job, but I can also do it in other ways.
Yeah.
And, in helping the next person. And that is a core value for me. So it definitely does resonate with me. And you can find ways to be impactful in the smallest ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's what one should always seek.
Yeah. So let's talk impact, because I love how you started, saying that, I get the sense that, in your family, there's a lot of discipline, right? Whether it's well received or not, there's a lot of discipline. So, when we live life, right? I think the older we get, the more mature and the more exposed we get, we realize that to make a meaningful and sustainable impact, right? We need the randelas.
Oh, yes.
Right? That's what we need to make that kind of impact. If you tie in, the foundation of your life through family, what you've been exposed to in terms of life through work, through your experiences, through running, how important is it that, we find our purpose within the money and the finances, and then using that to then also create the impact that's going to be sustainable and can be taken forward?
So I think it's important. And, yes, I spoke about discipline, and you need to be disciplined about your money and how you spend your money, and be clear on how you're spending your money. And I think, there isn't anywhere where I feel, I think there are mistakes where you waste money. But with the big things, I'm clear what I'm spending my money on, what it's for, and, who it will impact. So, whether it's the black tax that, we all have to pay to our extended family, it's okay, because you know what it's for. It's for the greater good of your family. And I'm clear about that discipline of giving that on a monthly basis to those in the family that need. I think, just my spending habits. I spend on the things that resonate with me, and that way there isn't careless spending. If you know what really lights you up. So you spend on the things that make you happy. And I think there's a balance between saving and spending, because even within saving, it's around being ready for the rainy days, and being confident that I have a buffer for certain things and certain expenses. So I think it's a balance between those elements, but being clear about where you spend different parts of your budget.
I heard what Bantse said. Bantse said you must spend money on things that make you happy.
Yes, okay? For sure.
And especially if you're working hard for it.
Of course.
Something else when it comes to impact, and I think as a runner, I think anybody who can run the Comrades or any race for that matter, has an element of being a superhuman, because you have to soldier through the pain, because there will be pain.
Oh, definitely.
So when you now are thinking about, Bantse, and what you do in the corporate space because you're consumer facing, right? And you think about, the friend, the partner, the daughter, the sister. And I don't want to say the legacy, but I want to say the impact that you want to leave with those who connect with you or cross paths with you. What things can you give us? Let's be generous and say 3, that you have learned now in that, to say, once you found your purpose, this is how you can be impactful.
Okay. I think one can be impactful. And if I were to choose those 3 things and the legacies that I leave, and, I have nieces and nephews who I spend a lot of time with. And, every time I'm with them, I try to give them a message of, what they should remember about spending time with me.
Yeah.
Auntie B.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes. I actually am. Lots of people call me Auntie B. But yes, I think, what I try leave them with is that they should be clear about what they want to do in life. And it's okay to make mistakes, especially, the teenage phase and that, and the decisions that they're going through at the moment. So, but just be clear about what you're about, because it's very easy to just get distracted. And even as adults, we get distracted, right? So I feel that's one thing I tend to emphasize is, just be clear about what you want and what your goals are, and you can get there. Yeah. And then secondly is really around be disciplined in execution. You're not going to things don't come easy. So you really have to go through the hard times. Yeah. Go through it, the grit. Yeah, you've got to have that grit. So it's definitely the second one. And then thirdly is I do believe in having fun.
Yeah.
While you're at it, life is short. And I think, while you are working hard and pursuing all those goals, I think it's quite important to have fun and enjoy yourself. Yeah. And I really think that's 3 things I would probably leave with the people that I'm around. Yeah. And I think I even have fun when I come to work. Yeah. There isn't a day where I don't laugh with my colleagues. We laugh about how tough it is, but we laugh about the achievements we make. Yeah. So I think that's important.
No, wow. I mean, for me, that's such a beautiful thing to say, because a lot of people, when they think about purpose and they think about impact and they think about clarity, right? They forget to have fun. Yeah. Like have fun, right? Have fun. Yeah. Have fun with it.
It's also a description of how purpose becomes a part of who you are. Yeah. It is not a script. Yeah. You don't go through a book and say, oh, today, what does my purpose book say to me?
Definitely.
It is a part of your life. And as you're talking in my head, literally, the whole audacity to believe tagline comes in. I mean, running a marathon like Comrade's Marathon.
4 times. 4 times. I don't want us to get the number wrong. 4 times.
I mean, she's literally the replica of what audacity to believe means for the bank. Wow. And when you become popular, please send the money this way.
Yeah, no.
Bring the bag in this direction.
I'm actually think I'm going to volunteer to just be a support system, to be the cheerleader in Germany, because she says she's training for Germany. She's going for the Berlin. So I'm for you. I can help you up until 21 Ks. The rest, you're on your own.
I will do cheerleading. I'm not running with you ladies. No, thank you. But I'll be on the side going, go ladies, go ladies.
It starts with the first step.
It does. It really does.
You never know.
Oh,
you
man.
never know, definitely.
It's such a, and I think, Doric, the more, we engage with the various women, and that's the thing. For me, every time we sit down, to speak to someone, right? It's so beautiful, because we never know the woman we're going to get. We just never know. Never know. Every single day we're just like in awe. We're like, yo, that was a great guest. Then the next time we're like, yo, that was a great guest. So I mean, mode
thank you.
And I love how, as always, as we were saying in the makeup room, everybody's always nervous, and then they sit down, and because you're speaking your truth and you're speaking what's real for you, it then becomes so natural. Absolutely
and you're
natural.
being authentic. And I think that was literally the package for today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You were
thank
just
you.
here to remind us to be authentic, to remain focused.
Yeah.
Right. And to be goal getters, ladies. Don't set goals and not achieve
And
them.
gentlemen.
And
We acknowledge you.
but to have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it is a part of you, and purpose is that. And for me, when I found my purpose, the one quote that I held on to said, be fearless in the pursuit of the things that set your soul on fire.
Wow.
And I never
Definitely.
forgot about
Definitely.
that.
I like that one.
To this day.
Definitely. I
It's
love
a
it.
reminder that there's passion, there's something that burns in your stomach when you think about what you do and why you do it. And that's
Yes.
purpose.
Yeah.
Why do you do what you do? Why do you wake up every morning to run?
Sure.
Why do
Definitely.
you show up as the head of business transformation and PMO? There's a why behind it. And so we just wanted to appreciate you.
Oh,
Just
that's
Thank you.
beautiful. That
Thank
really,
you. Thank
that
you.
really is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I think you've started
Thank
something
you.
there, Doric, and I think I'm gonna pass it over to you. Give you the baton after that. You know that. Can you just say it again? Your
The
quote.
quote.
be fearless in the pursuit of the things that set your soul on fire.
Do you know? Is there something that comes to you, like your tagline, when you think about you and your purpose?
Wow, I don't have one at the top of my mind.
Yeah.
But so I always and you know, I am Christian, right? But I always, when I go out, I say I want to be go with the armor of God. And I really feel that, you know, when I step out and when I go out, it's around being fearless because I have the armor of God behind me, and knowing that you can go ahead, because armor is like meant to protect you and make you win the race and win whatever battle you're in. And living your purpose really is about winning the battle. So definitely that's one Bible verse that resonates with me a lot. And I think I take that with me every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What a beautiful way.
It is
of
it's
just
wrapping things up.
Concluding fast.
What about yourself?
I think for me, it is, you know, and it's the two statements that I live by, and that is ignite passion. With anybody and everybody that I connect with, I would like to ignite the passion in them, and then authentic audacity. That's my thing. Just
Authentic.
be you.
Yourself.
It's okay if you're feeling misunderstood. At some point, it'll catch up to who you are, because you are one of one. Always one of
Definitely.
one. Yeah.
Love it.
So
love it.
that's how we do it. I can't believe how time flies when we're having fun,
Wow.
right?
Oh,
You-
what are you?
Are you ready for the next? Are you ready for the 2-hour
The
marathon?
next 2-hour marathon.
Let's keep going.
Let's
Let's
tell
keep
her.
going.
We forgot to tell her. This is a 2-hour talk.
marathon.
We're in the business of talkology.
Yes, that's what we do. That's
you
what
ladies
we do.
make it easy. You make it easy for us. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes.
much. But over to you, Ms. K. How do we say goodbye?
So we say goodbye. Thank you once again for giving us your time. You know what they say. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. So make sure to like, share, follow, spread the word, do what you need to do. You can go to the African Bank YouTube TV channel. You'll find us there. And of course, you know how we do what we do with Doric Sitole.
And Kanya Sosivo.
And we've
we're
been
talking
money, 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 money.
Take care.
Take care.